When Bonanza first rode onto television screens in 1959, nobody could have predicted it would morph into one of the greatest pop culture phenomena of all time. At the absolute center of that monumental success was Pernell Roberts, playing the deeply serious, university-educated eldest son, Adam Cartwright. But while he was a massive star on camera, behind the scenes, Roberts was a fiercely independent man who thoroughly despised Hollywood egos and toxic network behavior. When rumors exploded that a bitter backstage feud drove him to look directly at a co-star and brand him a child of Satan, the public was stunned. Welcome back to Royal Time of Hollywood. Today, we are unearthing the high-stakes, backstage realities of the Ponderosa Ranch and revealing the truth behind the venomous insult the network desperately tried to bury. From small-town Georgia to the New York stage. Before he ever set foot on the Ponderosa, Pernell Roberts was a restless small-town boy from Waycross, Georgia. Born on May 18, 1928, to a Dr. Pepper salesman, young Pernell was bursting with raw artistic talent. He sang in local USO shows and played multiple instruments, but standard structures couldn't hold him. He abruptly dropped out of Georgia Tech to enlist in the U.S. Marine Corps, where he proudly played the horn and tuba in the prestigious Marine Corps Band. After his military service, Roberts finally discovered his true calling, classical theater. He conquered the off-Broadway and Broadway scenes with his commanding presence, earning a prestigious Drama Desk Award in 1955 for his brilliant portrayal of Macbeth. Hollywood immediately took notice of his rugged charm and intense dramatic depth. By 1957, he signed a contract with Columbia Pictures, making notable film appearances alongside stars like Glenn Ford and Shirley MacLaine. However, his most explosive turning point arrived in 1959 when he officially rode into television history as Adam Cartwright. The Gilded Cage of the Ponderosa. Bonanza completely revolutionized television. Running for a staggering 14 seasons and 440 episodes, it made history as the very first Western broadcast entirely in brilliant color. NBC and its parent company, RCA, heavily relied on the show to force Americans to buy color TV sets. The corporate gamble paid off, locking the Western into the Nielsen Top 5 ratings for 9 consecutive seasons. But for Roberts, a classically trained theater artist used to the complex prose of Shakespeare, Bonanza quickly transformed into a glamorous, suffocating cage. He grew deeply frustrated by the repetitive, assembly-line nature of the scripts. It infuriated him that Adam, a brilliant engineer in his 30s, had to constantly ask his father, Ben Cartwright, for permission before making any major life decision. Roberts openly mocked this dynamic to journalists, asking if it wasn't completely adolescent for 3 grown men to live that way. Furthermore, Roberts deeply cared about real-world social justice. He was disgusted by the show's severe lack of minority actors and its refusal to tackle mature, socially relevant themes. Driven into a panic by the artistic stagnation, he strictly fulfilled his initial 6-year contract and famously walked away from the #1 show in America in 1965. When critics and co-stars told him he was crazy to walk away from a fortune, Roberts delivered a legendary retort to the press. "If I were forcing myself to do something I didn't believe in, I would cry all the way to the bank." Power plays and rules of the ranch. Roberts' stormy departure left a massive void, exposing the cutthroat political games the remaining actors played to protect their territory. Early on, when a frustrated Roberts first threatened to quit, panicked producers brought in Guy Williams, TV Zorro, as cousin Will Cartwright to prove no one was irreplaceable. Once Roberts blinked and temporarily stayed, stars Michael Landon and Lorne Greene fiercely went to the network bosses with an ultimatum. No other actors could ever permanently play a Cartwright. They successfully blocked the studio from ever replacing a core family member. This defensive environment perfectly explains why the media was so quick to invent stories of volatile backstage warfare when Roberts finally left for good. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to check out the other stories and shocking updates on our channel. We've covered many incredible celebrity journeys, tragic endings, and untold Hollywood secrets that you don't want to miss. Binge watch our previous videos to discover more surprising facts, emotional stories, and where your favorite stars are today. Your support helps us bring you more powerful content like this, so don't forget to explore, watch more, and stay tuned for the next video. Unraveling the Child of Satan myth. Because Roberts' exit was so explosive, sensational rumors spread like wildfire that he absolutely despised his younger co-star, Michael Landon. Landon played the carefree, romantic little Joe, the golden boy who seemingly thrived within the Hollywood machine that Roberts detested. The gossip mill painted a picture of a set toxic with hatred, claiming Roberts looked directly at Landon and branded him a child of Satan. Landon's own sharp wit fueled the fire. During a 1973 appearance on The Tonight Show, when asked about Roberts leaving, Landon joked to the roaring crowd that he didn't even remember when he left. But the dramatic story turned out to be nothing more than a ghost story cooked up by a press hungry for ratings. Roberts' fierce, uncompromising temper was always directed at network executives and lazy writers, never at Landon. Decades later, fellow Bonanza cast member Betty Endicott completely shattered the myth of their animosity. While working with Roberts on his later hit series, Trapper John, N.D., Michael Landon unexpectedly snuck onto the hospital set to surprise his old co-star. Instead of a tense, hostile confrontation, the moment Landon tapped him on the shoulder, Roberts jumped up and instantly wrapped him in a tight, highly emotional embrace. The two old friends sat down and spent hours laughing and reminiscing about their golden years. A final bow. Pernell Roberts walked down the aisle 4 times in his life, enduring the devastating heartbreak of losing his only son, Chris, to a fatal motorcycle accident in 1989. He finally found enduring peace with his 4th wife, Eleanor Criswell, who stayed fiercely by his side until he passed away from pancreatic cancer in 2010. Ultimately, Bonanza didn't fall apart because of a toxic backstage feud, but due to real tragedy. In 1972, the beloved Dan Blocker, Haas, passed away unexpectedly. Without their gentle giant, the vital heart of the show was gone, and the network pulled the plug a season later. Pernell Roberts chose his artistic sanity over an easy paycheck, leaving behind a legacy of fierce independence that outlived the Ponderosa Ranch itself. What is your absolute favorite Adam Cartwright episode? Do you think Pernell Roberts made the right choice by prioritizing his art over Hollywood wealth? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into classic Hollywood history, don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to Royal Time of Hollywood for more untold chronicles of a silver screen.